is Annette with Annette's Astrology Query. This is your energetic reading for Eclipse season 2016. Now for you. Whew. So I really honestly have been watching your energy, and I know that you are going through one of the most massive reboots that I've seen this year. I believe that Aquarian energy is like one of those energies that is future based. And so there was a sense of past programming that was limiting you, and had took away your authenticity and your voice and your appreciation for what you value about yourself. And what I believe is happening is you're starting to re-identify, realign, align with what you value. I don't think that this is so much about the tangible earth-based values as so much as what do you value about yourself? What are you willing to embrace and stand out and be different in? And what are you going, and how are you going to allow others to shape and mold your opinions? That has been under extreme, just absolute constant stress for quite some time for you. I do believe that clarity, you're starting to clarify all this energy, you're starting to align with it, but I do believe that there's much more work to be done before you fully, completely embrace. So here's what I think about you. So first of all, it's difficult. It's a difficult time right now. And the reason that I say this is because Saturn, your ruler. Okay, so you have two rulers. You have Uranus, and I think Uranus is badass energy. That's the survival energy in you. That's the I'm gonna kick a little ass. I know what I got, and I'm okay with it. You're quirky. You're an individual. You thrive on individuating yourself from others. You love to stand out, and then you have Saturn. So the universe blessed you with two energies to create what's called balance. You're not here and you're not here. You're here. I believe for quite some time you've been here. You've been under extreme points of energy, and your rulers have been completely in different mindsets. And so what I think is happening is there's a merging of your energies, and there's a sense of Uranus and Aries, your individualism, meeting some form of control, but still having a voice, standing out, embracing new theories and concepts, but you need to be able to vocalize these theories in a way that's acceptable and accepted by others. But here's the thing, if you're this creature that's always testing the extremes, who the hell is going to validate you? You're not going to be validated for being extreme all the time. Not for people that are desiring stability right now. Not for people that are done with extremes and really deeply are only aligning with what feels safe because of the PTSD that everybody's been through the Pluto-Uranus squares and just all the dramatic changes. So you actually have been just, I feel, every time I connect with your energy, it's almost like I feel tormented by the fact that there's just something about your energy that just doesn't seem to be meeting in the middle. There's a resistance. There's an internal war. There's a sense that, you're used to getting attention and you like it, and you're used to standing out, and you're used to embracing that. There's a duality in this eclipse, the solar eclipse, but there's a sense that you need to meet in the middle. There's something that you're not seeing. There's information that you need to see that I think that you're blocking yourself from seeing intentionally, because then that would not validate you completely. And I think it's powerful. I think it's something that you really absolutely need to consider moving forward, because this is about creating the next zodiac year. March is in astrology, it is the New Year's kickoff date. And I believe that Piscean energy, the Aries, the solar eclipse, the new beginning, is in the ending of the zodiac year. So this is about that ending of all that cumulative energy that's like, oh God, I've been going through these fucking constant trials and tribulations, and my rulers can't seem to make me align. You don't feel aligned to me. When I feel your energy, I never feel aligned. And I can't, it's like you're so effing opinionated that you refuse to see what's right in front of you, even though every karmic lesson is teaching you the same lesson. You're refusing to see it. And I believe that it ends now. I believe that you're finally starting to understand that, you know, there's something going on that's bigger and expanding you in a direction that I think you're welcoming and hoping to have progression in. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the what a solar eclipse is. A solar eclipse is when the moon passes between the sun and the earth and prevents your sun from shining. When the sun is in the new moon's shadow, the new moon's energetic power overrides your ability to shine. This isn't about being headstrong. This is about aligning with an emotional new beginning. So emotion meets desire, right? And this energy, dualistic energy, feminine and masculine energy. Your ruler is in a masculine energy right now, and it is, you know, in a square. And all this water energy is just flooding you, and it's so deeply heavy and emotional for a pleasure seeker such as yourself. At least you are in this energy. So when the solar event happens, your sun goes under this massive reboot. And since the solar eclipse represents new beginnings, it is time for your soul's deepest desire to transform and elevate you to the next level. I always think of, I play this game and I love it and it's super fun, but I always think that when I level up, when I go to that next level, so it's got this little timer that's round, kind of like the zodiac, and I go through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm up to like, I think 27 in this level. And as I'm going up, as I complete that level, that meter goes up, and then it says level up, and I just feel a sense of accomplishment. I feel like that's where you're at. Your rulers are training each other, making this event an internal focus. So here's what's happening. I think you excuse a lot. When your rulers are in a trine like this, I think you feel like it's everybody else's perception and fault. And there's enough recognition for you to feel that way as well. I feel deeply like Saturn is the key in this energy. Even though your rulers are in this conversation, I believe that the realization is going to happen within merging the two planets. So this is helping you to get in touch with your softer side. Pisces rules nothing but the heart. The side that wants you to selflessly be there for others and connects you with being a humanitarian. It is absolutely the most beautiful side of you. Anybody who's ever loved an Aquarius knows that there's this soft side to their soul that amidst the fire-based quirky energy, there's just a sense of love and compassion, and they would do anything in the world they could to help you and to bring you everything and to help propel you into the future. So that is such an energetic, soothing response to them, but you very rarely ever focus that energy on yourself. So here's what this is about. This solar eclipse is about ending doing it for everybody else. This is pulling you back in to providing that to yourself. That clarity, that healing, that compassion for where you're at, and really twisting the focus onto where you need to go. Your needs and wants are not grounding you right now. You seem to change erratically depending on your mood. Because Saturn is squaring all the Pisces energy, as well as Jupiter, there is a lack of control associated with all of this energy. And for you, you're unsettled. You're all about being in control. You're all about controlling where the direction of others. You're about controlling the future influencing. I don't think it's about control as much as, control is the wrong word. It's influence. You're all about influencing others to get on your unique mindset, your vision for their future. Whenever you touch a human being, whenever you see somebody, it's about somehow you see their future and you can guide them through their waters. But they have to want it for themselves. You have to let them see this for themselves and then support their, kind of be like the lighthouse that guides them through the night sometimes. So what can make this even more confusing is that all this mutable energy has been blowing your mind. It's that siblings, friends, and social circles have been letting you off the hook. You get to play the victim and they accept it. They do. You can talk a good game. You can make it be everybody else's fault, and it seems reasonable and logical to everybody the way that you deliver the information. There is a feeling that you are hiding. The fact that psychologically there is a pattern that you must change from yourself. There's an area in your mind you have dammed up, and it is emotion-based. It is a wound that won't heal. So what you did was you just put it behind a big wall, and you dammed it all up and just pretend like it's not there. And you move forward because you are forward focused. But in this energy with Chiron healing wounds and bringing them out into the open and showing them to you, it's a healing energy. So what I love about this energy is for anybody that's into being in the field of psychology, sociology, if you're in the field of philosophy, if you teach, if you guide, if you heal, what this is about facing it within yourself, because others mirror what we're going through. So if we're attracting a lot of unstable people, unstable situations, instability, then they're mirroring where we're lacking. So if we overcome this area, we flood this wound, we heal ourselves, we figure it out, then we can guide others and our lighthouse burns brighter, is the way I feel about this energy. So you are focused on creating a new beginning, yet the past still haunts you. It haunts your soul. It haunts your mind in the deepest. It lurks, and it psychologically lowers your vibration. It's as though you're tough. You're a tough person externally, but you are lost and imprisoned by your thoughts internally. So to others, you look like, wow, she's got it all together. She adapts. She's easy. She's disconnected. She's emotionally strong. You're not strong. You're soft as everybody else. The only difference is that you have Saturn, the planet of control, able to control your emotional responses to things enough to allow you to deal. But you can internally deal with it and then compartmentalize external world and internal world, and there are two different worlds for you. But in this energy, they're not two different worlds. External meets internal. There's a flooding. There's a flushing out. It's like a flood came through, a tsunami came through, and you have this beautiful beach resort, and the tsunami came through, flooded everything, pulled everything out, then pulled everything back in, and now there's just all this garbage and details for everybody to see, and there's a vulnerability in that. There's a realization that this is the baggage, this is the stuff, this is what's been suppressed and locked away, and perhaps it's for some of you, you're in the type of what you were aligning with and what you were valuing was not deeply what you should have been valuing. What is the special message from the universe? You're a piece of clay. You don't have any control over how the universe is molding you. You're being heavily influenced by water. So you had this form and the shape, and you were manifesting your life, and you had shaped and thought you had control over it. And guess what? The universe came in, poured a bunch of water on your clay and watered it down and you just lost your form. That's the reality of what you're going through right now. Whether you want to see it or not, it's there, my friends. So if you're resisting energy right now, you are refusing to change your life in an area that the universe is divinely guiding you, and you're going to square the frack off. Your ruler is going to give you one harsh realization as to the emotional impact that you are going through. You are in a time of healing, but first you must acknowledge that there is something that you need to do and you need to change and you have no complete control over, and you need to submit. Almost an impossible word to associate with an Aquarian-based energy, but guess what? This is all about changing the way that we associate things. As soon as our nodes changed into a different energy source, all of a sudden, the way that we were, all the cardinal action-oriented energy is falling into mutable energy. There's no way you can get around it. So let's talk about what beginning this is trying to create for you. What is the point? What's the point of all this water-based energy? Well, it is to flush out what no longer serves you. Where there's a block, where there's an emotional limitation, where you have dammed up something so much so that it has created a programming that is not authentically helping you to shine anymore. You are dammed up, and the integrity of your dam is now compromised. The materials that you use to dam this up is not strong enough to withstand the water surge that happened. You may be refusing to see, for some of you, the issue that may go back to a father figure that programmed you to value the wrong things. You may be the product of some programming growing up. I believe that for some of you, this may have something to do, if it's not a father figure, if it's not a father, it's a father figure or a masculine energy. So there's a masculine and a feminine energy associated with this. Perhaps the masculine energy that was trying to form you developed psychological programming that made you think that you had control over situations you had no control over. And or you needed to go in and save the day constantly from this masculine energy that was in your life. And so you thought that you had control over the circumstances when in fact you were always just on a mutable wild ride with that person that had developed your programming. This, of course, is only a few of you, but I deeply aligned with it when I saw this. It is time for you to see things clearly and validate what came up during the eclipse. You need to change this mental routine that interferes with stability. This eclipse season is about starting over with your wounds medicated and the dressings attended to. You are the energy that brings all of the medicine and all of the resources to everybody else during extreme events. But now this is about bringing the medicine and the healing to yourself and being attentive to your own wounds. So the new beginning is that this will flush out what no longer serves you. This is about, I don't know if you've ever seen wound healing or done wound healing, any kind of, I can't think of the word right now. I hate mutable energy when it's in a square because my brain, that's why I had to write down everything, because my brain doesn't think like that. It just gets scattered easily. So I had to focus all my energy on a piece of paper, which is really good to do with water-based energy. In fact, what I would recommend for you is if you're feeling this square and intensity, you can't focus your thoughts, they seem to be all over the place, and you're definitely falling into the low vibration, then writing it out. Writing a letter is super, or writing in a journal is really great during this time frame because it really does help me put my words into perspective. Refusing to take care of the issue will only cause a tidal wave of emotions when you least expect them. I feel that for some of you, and maybe the tsunami effect, more importantly, it is time to release control over what you have and value that life is not about control, but it is to be experienced. It is. The illusion is that we have control. So, the lunar eclipse for you is usually associated with an ending or an accumulative energy. So the lunar eclipse, the Earth blocks the sun from casting a shadow over the moon. This astrological event is significant because the sun's desire to shine will override your emotional vulnerability. So this is about shining again. I love that all this energy goes into fire again for you, and you start to feel a little bit more aligned and authentic. You dry out a little bit from all the wet water-based energy. This lunar eclipse is going to be in Libra, and it's combined with a powerful alignment that makes you divinely guided. The sun in Aries will align with Mercury in Aries, merge in the way you think with what your heart desires on a very, very simplistic level. Aries is the first sign in the zodiac. Your sun and your mind are both in Aries. So this is about really feeding you what you immediately desire and want. And it's about reacting off of impulse. And it's about just throwing it all out there and seeing what happens, which I think you deeply kind of dig that kind of energy. You are caught in both the ending of energy and the beginning of energy. Pisces energy is the ending and Aries energy is the beginning. Saturn is squaring off still with Pisces energy. A Sagittarius energy is a mutable energy source, but you know, it is really honestly about, still that steamy type of clarity. You are still also experiencing the struggle between feminine and masculine energy during the lunar eclipse. Even though your planetary influences have not shifted, you are still under those same realizations that you have been subjected to. But there is a sense of clarity, progression, forward movement in your thoughts. As all of this energy moves out of a lack of clarity, lack of direction, you're starting to focus all of this clarity in a specific direction, which is ideal. You may feel like you have a clearer understanding of the issues, but you may still be searching for logical answers. Again, you really love logic and attached to facts. When this energy is about divine intervention, water, karma, faith, belief, it's very difficult for you to grasp some of those concepts when facts seem so solid. So in order to see what you find difficult, you must face and submit to mutable energy. At this point, you will be faced with a cumulative energy that forces you to face what you refuse to acknowledge for some of you that are just fighting the realization. The stark reality is that your wounds may go deeper than you have originally thought. You may be consumed with a need for approval that defines how you feel about yourself. You're still not feeling authentic. You're still not feeling that you were deeply valued for all of the selfless acts that you had done in the past. I feel like people feel that you're emotionally disconnected. What they don't understand is that you compartmentalize your emotions. It's not that you don't feel them. It's that you compartmentalize them in a way that seems disconnected. But what they don't understand is there's a lot that lies beneath. There's many layers to the Aquarian layer. You're ruled by two rulers alone. That's very complex energy, and you actually have to learn how to compartmentalize that and say, okay, I've got this time to deal with this. I've got to take action over here. I've got to create the future over there. You're very good at all of that multitasking, but it can be very difficult for you to grasp things on a very simplistic level, and that is peace and serenity, love, acceptance, belief, the future, something bigger than you, fate, karma. Those things are kind of more difficult for you to wrap your head around, only because they're not fact-based. Anyhow, guys, thank you so much for watching Annette's Astrology Corner, and I look forward to talking to you guys again on the next astrological event.